Don't sell your soul for this soul event. Hello, everyone. Bront, CatHerder here. We're having some fun talking Raid Shadow Legends and a fairly quick video here with some bonus shard openings. Ooh. And we are going to be talking about the Afterparty event for Fabian's soul. So I've got a breakdown on how the points work. I've got a quick math guide of where to go for what levels of the soul, how much it's going to cost you. And then we can certainly talk a little bit about the estimates of how many shards you're going to need, what else you might want to do, as well as, again, I'm going to have some shard pulls here on my free-to-play as well, because I'm going to be pulling today on the free-to-play. I will not be pulling today on the other accounts necessarily, so don't expect a shard pull video for my other accounts probably until Tuesday, because that would be after all the shard events would have been done, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to be pulling on Monday on at least one of the accounts. So, with that said, let's go take a look at the after party. All right. So we've got the after party event here, and I've got the breakdown on how many points it is going to cost you to get all the way to the 5-star soul. Now, I've got this written a little bit strangely, and the reason why is you can earn a second key through, or a second key, but an extra key through the Fire Knight path event if you are going to do an epic only Fire Knight team. Now, on my free to play, that's not possible because really I'm struggling to do Fire Knight. Well, I mean, I do Fire Knight 25, but I'm not doing Fire Knight fast, and I know I don't have the epics to do a Fire Knight team. But on my main and my alt, I've got 1 minute, 1 minute and a half teams. In fact, I've got a video, so I'll post the video up here if I can remember, and it will definitely be in the end of this video. So stick around to the end, and there will be a link to that video in the end of it as well. It is an epic Fire Knight pad team, and it does have 2 different teams you can use, as well as talks about alternative champions if you don't have some of the champions I talk about. That's one way you can save yourself some points. But if you look here, generally getting one of the keys is not a lot of extra points. So one key is 9,250. You do need a second key. So you do not need a key for the 3-star soul. The 3-star soul happens to be on the path of one of the keys, and it doesn't matter which of the keys you go for. You can go for either the left key or the right key. They are the same price. You do want to go down the middle first to get the 3-star soul, unless for some reason you already have a 3-star soul, at which point in time you can skip directly to 4 and 5. You do still need to get these keys. Now, these middle keys are technically slightly more expensive, but I mean, you're getting either a bunch of energy or a bunch of gems, so not too bad. Down here, I would certainly take these extra coins because I think those are certainly a little more valuable than these core hammers. These core hammers are honestly worthless. They're absolute trash. They need to do something about those. As far as going down further here, obviously, since you're going to go down all 4 paths eventually, all the paths are kind of similar. I recommend probably going down this path first because a 5-star soul for speed or 5-star glyph for speed is super impressive. Not that this stuff is not bad either, because that's effectively 10 coins for buying souls. So both of them is particularly good. Down here, though, I think I like this spot better because the gems are slightly better value. And keep in mind, any place where it is a flat path like this, you could come on either side and continue on down. So once you get either of these 2 rewards, you do not have to get the other one to go further down if you want to. And in fact, you get this, you can get this soul stone, or you can get these points here. They're both about similar value, honestly. If you're buying more souls, this is great. If you want these for events, these are great. They're both good options. Again, whichever dust you need more, and then finally the Fabian soul down here. So if we look up here, you're going to get the first key and you're going to get the 3-star soul. So it's a total of 32,000 points, a little more than that, where you can get the soul and your first key. So if you do the Fire Knight event, that's all you need to pull, and that's about 7 sacreds and absolutely nothing else. So you can get the 3-star soul for 7 sacreds, but it's champion training, so it's not like it's the hardest thing to get some extra points with. So you do a little champion training, you can probably do it with 6, maybe even 5 or 4 sacreds, or you can pull some other shards as well. Another thing to keep in mind as we look here at the information, we have level upgrades are worth, what they're worth here. This is not bad. It's not absolutely amazing, but it's not bad. And primal shards are worth finally a better amount than they have been beforehand. I actually had to update my spreadsheet. They used to be worth 1,800. They're now worth 2,700. Not that I recommend pulling primal shards for this event, but it's not total trash. Now mystery shards are 3 points behind me. No one cares. You're not doing this event with mystery shards most likely, because you need thousands upon thousands upon thousands of mystery shards to do that. And that's actually, I think, why they like to do these events. Mystery shards just don't work well with these events versus the summon rushes, where they're worth 500 mystery shards is the equivalent of a sacred. And here it's 1,500 mystery shards is the equivalent of a sacred shard. A little bit of power creep by Polarium there. So if you want the 4-star soul, you need to get 2 keys. So you might as well, since you're already down here, just go down, get these 3 things, and get that key here. So that is why that key is worth only 7,750. So that's 40,000 gets you 2 keys and a 4-star soul. Well, the 4-star soul actually is going to be a little more expensive. So that's the 4,700. Again, that can be only 4,000 if you're going to do the Fire Knight event. But you get some decent rewards here as well, and you're saving, to less than 2 sacred shards. So it's not the worst thing in the world, especially with some champion training event. Now, the 5-star soul is going to be an additional almost 4,500, because you definitely at least need to get that 3rd key, if not that 4th key. So this is over 50,000 if you need to buy all 4 keys. And if you don't, you can go down either path. It really depends on whether or not you want the Chaos Ore. Do you want the Epic Book? I think the Chaos Ore is certainly worth more than an Epic Book for an endgame account, but for some counts, the Epic Book may be worth more. So both are one of his options. Again, you get some, good materials here. And finally, you have the expensive stuff down here if you want to clear this stuff out as well. You can get yourself a big soul stone. You can get yourself 20 of the essence here. You can get yourself some mythical books. It's actually pretty good stuff, but it's definitely on the expensive side, just given what this event is. And that's kind of the problem too. I'm not going to go over all the champions that they have for this weekend because I don't have a convenient list for it, but it is definitely not the best list of champions here. I generally would recommend a lot of people, if you don't have an RTAC, maybe you want to pull on Saturday. If you don't have a Warlord and really want a Warlord, Saturday is not bad for Voids. Cardiel's good on Friday. In fact, on my main, I'm probably going to pull today for Cardiel. Valkyrie is very good. Stultus Dragonbane can be very helpful in Dragon if you need some help in Dragon. On Sunday, Kymar and Teodar are very, very good options. Probably 2 of the better options I've seen this weekend. If you need those on either accounts, that is an option. That's actually a good time to pull some of your stuff. White King Narcissus is there. Hegemon is actually back in the meta in some way, shape, or form. Good champion as well. Valkanen can be fun for Hydra. And then finally on Monday, Kaolite, one of the newer champions, might be interesting. Herndig is not a bad champion. Brogni's certainly seen better days, but he's still pretty decent. Acrisia can be very good for a lot of people for a lot of progression, and Emic is a really good champion, and Tormund's not bad either. So Monday seems to be one of the better days to pull, but it really does depend on your account and what you need. That's not all we're here for, because you guys love shard pulls, and I'm just going to do some quick shard pulls here on my free-to-play. I've made a lot of progress here on the free-to-play. In fact, I recently just got my first 3-key Ultra Nightmare team going. It did pretty well. Basically, Tyrant has replaced Sun Wukong, and that team lasts a bit longer. I do actually sacrifice a little bit of damage on Nightmare, but not a lot. And I just 1-keyed Nightmare very recently, but it is very affinity reliable. So it needs to be Magic, maybe Spirit, but I've definitely done it on Magic, and I did it by 300k, so I just barely did the 1 key. So I think what's going to go forward is I'm going to look and see what affinity Ultra Nightmare is before I figure out if I'm going to be running Ultra Nightmare keys or just Nightmare and earlier on. Today, for example, it is Force on both Ultra Nightmare and Nightmare. I know my Force teams are really bad. In fact, I barely 2-keyed Nightmare on Force this time. So, not barely. It was comfortable, but it wasn't comfortable enough to my liking. So, that said, I got a Sacred Shard actually from Login, and I've got 5 Ancients. So, I think Valkyrie will actually help this particular account a lot. I think with Valkyrie, I've got a shot at actually building a hard Fire Knight team, as weird as that sounds. I also think she will be very helpful for my faction wars. My Barbarian faction wars is really kind of a mess, so I could definitely use her. I certainly considered Stultus. Stultus would certainly be a huge help in my Bannerlords team. He would give me another Force Nuker, would be very, very helpful as well. He might be a better choice. I like Valk. I think Valk brings a lot of interesting options, and I think I can leverage Valk to do some fun stuff, even necessarily if I don't 6-star her, because she's an absolute beast of a champion. So we are going to go for that and see what we get. Probably getting an epic. And honestly, if it's a good epic, I will be happy. We do have Pepsi. Let me crack this puppy open here. Pepsi bringing us legendary champions since 2023 or 2024. I don't remember when I started this tradition. But, not a sponsor. Pepsi, you could be. Definitely would appreciate you. So let's get some RNGesus luck and see if we can get a legendary. That is not a legendary. That is a Frostbringer. That is not going to help me at all. I have a stacked Sacred Order, and she doesn't bring the Frost. She brings increased speed, increased attack. Not absolutely horrible, but a 4-turn cooldown when booked. That's just gross. 3 times at random, decreased defense. That's just gross. And heal reduction 2 times at random, 30% chance bookable to 50%. This is an absolute. This would be a bad rare. This Polarium, you can do better. Well, I guess this makes it not quite a bad rare, but not a great rare. All right. Let's see if we can get, again, epics would be fine. I'm not expecting legendaries, but we always can hope, because Pepsi might bring us some luck. Marauder, not what I'm looking for. And if it ends up being food, it ends up being food. Master Butcher, great champion. I do have one already. I don't know if I'm going to keep a second one for Faction Guardians or not. I think I need the chickens more. That is Hurler, not particularly exciting. Oh, come on. Give me at least one other epic. That would be so great. I'm on a huge losing streak with these things right now. And that's not an epic either. So hopefully your shard pulls go a lot better than mine did on my free-to-play. But you know what? I actually appreciate the chickens that I'm going to get for this, because I'm going to be diving into the champ training a little bit. There's a shot I might get the Fabian soul. Probably not on this account, and that's fine. I do have a 1-star soul I picked up from the shop. I did not want to miss out on a star soul for him. Fabian has been absolutely great on this, and sometime this weekend I will put out a 1 week left video, because there is almost exactly 1 week left in the free-to-play series. Now, tomorrow is my CatHerder stream on Twitch. I normally do CatHerder streaming on Twitch. Normally, I do free takeovers. I don't think I'm going to be doing as many free takeovers this weekend as I might normally, because I think I'm going to be focusing on the free-to-play for that live stream. On top of that, I believe I will be able to do a live stream on Friday leading up to the finale, which is 2 p.m. U.S. Central Time, midnight GMT. So depending on where you are in the world, keep that in mind. If I am able to do a live stream up until the end of the free-to-play, where I can continue to try to grind as much as I can out of this account, I certainly will. I probably won't necessarily stretch this account to its absolute limit, because, to be fair, I may still keep this account and play it. And even if I don't keep it, I think somebody else would love this account, and I don't want to leave them with an account that has absolutely nothing to go on right when they start. So let's go. Let's see if I can get first place in the Hell Hades free-to-play. I have been climbing quite a bit again, but Bone is keeping me on my toes. So until the next video, I appreciate you guys absolutely hanging around here. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Let me know down below what weekend day you're planning on going on, what you think of this new event, whether or not you like the fact that you can earn a key through the Fire Knight in addition to anything else. To me, seems kind of strange. Why didn't they just put Dungeon Divers in it? But you know what? It's something different to do. So anyway, until the next video, I am Bront CatHerder.